First it was murder squirrel, now it's cowboy squirrel. I do love living in Florida. Well, good morning, Glue Troopers. Max and Max's Models here. I certainly hope you're doing well this morning. So, I did a couple of things yesterday. Did not have a lot of time for model building. We have real world stuff going on. I got to work on Major Pluskat, and it turns out a couple of Glue Troopers told me that the actor Hans Christian Blecht, who plays Major Pluskat, actually has gray hair, not blonde hair. So I had to go and change that. And then I smudged up his face as it is in the movie, and actually dirtied up and put some road dirt and everything on the Kubelwagen. It needed a little more weathering, as did the good Major, who I finally finished. I got him all painted, got him dull coated except for his boots, because, you know, what German officer doesn't have nice shiny boots? And he's pretty much done, at least for right now. And we'll get to working on the rest of the diorama later. But it's starting to look okay. I gotta make or get some trees and make the little frame structure of the well house or whatever it was he ran into, and then get the cotton and everything to make the smoke. But that will all come a little bit later. Now, while I was there, I decided to go ahead and see how my experiment on the Renwall biplane that was supposed to have the arrow skins originally. So I tried using the putty last night to fill the gap, sand it down this morning, and it just wouldn't even out. It was just that deluxe plastic putty. I like that stuff, but it's not really made for this kind of job. It's made for sealing gaps, and so I'm not real happy with the outcome. I've tried adding some more and sanding it down again and sand and add, and it just never really got that even look it needed to have. And I wanted to sand it down to the ribs so they would show. So went ahead and primed it. Looked bad. Then I went ahead and figured, you know what, I'm going to give it a heavy coat of this thick green paint I've got and see how that looks. And it not only looked horrid, it actually started causing cracks. I think the paint was actually shrinking when it reacted with the primer, and some of the white was showing through. And that gave me an idea. Hey, well, if this doesn't come out, I can always use this to make it look like the wing's been damaged and torn up, and, you know, you can see the inside. So I was like, yeah, that's taking the easy way out. So sanded it back down a little more, then decided, hey, let's do what we talked about earlier. We'll go old school and see about putting some tissue over it. So I went ahead and went to one of the wooden models and got some tissue and covered it and glued it into place, pulled a little taut, glued it into place, and it did cover up a multitude of sins. Then I spritzed it once the glue had hardened and let it taut a little bit, and then I spritzed it again. I'm going to give it overnight. Don't really expect much to come of it, but, you know, it's a fun experiment. The rest of the control surfaces, I just went ahead and tried the putty again, just trying to perfect the technique, but it's just not really what that putty's made for. And I even thought about filling maybe with a really thin resin, and I'll just let it flow into place. That might work on the flat tail surfaces, but this at this point is more of an experiment. I really don't expect the model to look great when it's done. But one thing I did notice about the tissue, there were a few places where the paper didn't adhere properly or something. I was like, hey, you know what? If I need to, I can, where the gouges are at, I can put some of this paper on there, and it looks like torn fabric. Make it look like it was, you know, left out in a hailstorm or really shot up bad in battle. Something like that. If this comes out really bad, I might just put the shreds of tissue on it and just you know, make it look like you just got the crap ripped out of it, and then, you know, label it something like, you know, Corporal Smith, did you leave the airplane outside the hangar last night during the hailstorm? But anyway, but it's been a fun little experiment, even though I haven't had much success. But, you know, you have your glorious successes and your glorious failures, and there's fun to be had in the glorious failures, too. So that's really all I got done yesterday. Hopefully we'll get a little bit more done today, but we have, it's fun. Yeah, I'm retired and should have plenty of time for model building, but there's just still stuff that's got to be done. Oh, well, that's the life of the career retired model builder. And guys, we are planning the live stream next Saturday night, and I don't know what it's going to be about yet, but maybe if you guys were to send me some ideas, or perhaps we can talk about our biggest kit model failures, which I imagine most people don't have pictures of, because we tend to just do I never had that kit. It was never here. Anyway, guys, you take care of yourselves. We'll talk to you later. And as always, model on.